Alright, so hi everyone. My camera was totally out of power, so I had to charge it. So that's why there's a wire hanging next to my face. So I had we had our first ultrasound yesterday, which also happened to be my 38th birthday. And we were really excited. On Monday, I had actually been like, this was either like brilliant or a brilliant plan or a really bad plan. Because if it's good news, it'll be the best birthday ever. If it's bad news, it'll be the worst birthday ever. And the news was somewhere in between. So, the doctor said that most likely we're going to miscarry. So there was no egg, there was no yolk sac in the scan. They did find I can't remember what it's called, the embryonic sac, or, the big sac, but they didn't find the little yolk sac inside. And I was 6 weeks and 5 days or something like that, 6 days maybe. So at that stage, there definitely should have been a yolk sac. But it's possible that the timing was all off. And then I was actually 5.5 weeks instead of 6.5 weeks or so. But unlikely, because it was actually really close to 7 weeks. So being close to 6 weeks, there still should have been a yolk sac. Although I've also read that if you have a tilted uterus, it can be hard to image everything, which I think I have. I'm pretty sure I do have. So I guess I'm clinging on to a little bit of hope there. As you can tell, I'm really devastated. I lost it. The tech it was pretty obvious something was wrong, and the doctor said prepare for the worst, and he's like, it definitely could be that you're early, so we have another scan next week, but he didn't seem to think that was very likely. So we have a scan next Tuesday, and if it's shown a week of progress, we're good to go. And if it hasn't, then it's probably a blighted ovum, which basically means that it was an embryo, it was a fertilized embryo that implanted but then kind of stalled out and stopped growing, most likely due to some kind of genetic problem. It just wasn't viable. Which makes sense because I'm old, even older now, and my eggs are rotten, so it just makes sense that there would be a chromosomal issue at my age. Even though people get pregnant into their early 40s, I know, but this is why it's so hard. So don't wait if you don't have to. So that's where we are. We're not really telling anyone. I am feeling a host of emotions. I am a little bit in shock. I guess I always knew this could happen. I just didn't think it would be our story after everything. But that doesn't make any sense. It's not rational or logical at all. I'm pissed. I'm really angry. I'm really tired of this. Tired of life being hard. And I know I have it better than a lot of people in the world. Most people in the world. But it's just hard to keep that in perspective sometimes. And I just keep comparing the morning that I found out that the feelings and the looking at that test to yesterday morning on my 38th birthday when I was devastated. I was like sobbing uncontrollably in the doctor's office, which is also horribly embarrassing, even though there's like nothing you can do about it and everyone understands. I don't usually like to lose it to that degree in public. I could barely breathe. I was sobbing so hard. My husband is staying super positive, doing his best, and he is just he's not gonna mourn until it's time to mourn. And we have all the facts, which I totally admire, but I kind of can't go there because I don't know. I just feel like I'm back in this, every month of, am I pregnant or am I not pregnant? And I don't know. I just, I don't know. I can't be happy about it with this horrible, dark, black cloud over our heads. I mean, be happy about the pregnancy. I mean, I'm happy about the pregnancy, but I just don't know if it's even a pregnancy anymore. Symptoms, my boobs are still really sore. My fatigue has gone down a little bit, I think, although it's hard to tell because now I'm just don't want to get out of bed, probably because of what's happening. I haven't had really any morning sickness, which I think is probably a bad sign. My sister was really sick with her pregnancies. I mean, she didn't actually get physically ill, but she just felt nauseous 24 hours a day. So I know every pregnancy is different, every person's different, every pregnancy of every person is different, but it just seems suspicious that I'm not nauseated at all. I do still have stomach issues, my stomach hurts sometimes, upset, burpy, gurgly, but not nausea. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. The doctor said that, I guess the one step would have been to take an HCG level, but he was like, it's not going to tell us anything because it's going to be really high. Because my body clearly still thinks it's pregnant, or else I would have miscarried already. So I don't think there's anything to do but wait to either miscarry or for our scan on Tuesday. And then hopefully we'll know more. It just feels really unfair. I don't even know what that means. It's not like I want other people to go through this. It's more that I just don't want to have to go through it, especially after everything. I was so excited. I was so excited to have as close to a natural pregnancy as we'll ever have. I didn't know the sex. I didn't know anything about the baby. It was just very exciting. Of course, the silver lining is that we know I can get pregnant. So that's good, because I didn't know that, and I was scared that maybe there was something wrong with my body that just didn't allow me to carry a baby. So that's the silver lining. I don't know. I've done some reading online, and I guess there are some misdiagnoses. Hopefully that's the case here, but I don't know. It just doesn't look good. It just doesn't. The data is not looking good. So I am hopeful. When I truly get into touch with the feelings that this might actually be happening, I start to truly lose it. So I'm clearly hopeful that this isn't going to happen, and in denial that it might actually be happening. Yet there's a dark cloud over me, and I'm really raw. I'm on the verge of depression, I'm sure. Just wouldn't mind staying in bed all day watching movies and trying to escape this reality, which I'm kind of done with. I felt that way with my dad getting sick and then dying, and my sister getting sick, the BRCA. It's been a really bad 5 years, 3 years, 4 years. So But, you know, obviously we'll get through this no matter what it, like, hopefully it's nothing, but if it is something and I do miscarry, then we'll get through it. A lot of women do, a lot of couples do. It's very common. This is why they tell you not to tell anyone until the end of your first trimester. Because sometimes it just takes a little while for the genetic anomaly to take hold and for the miscarriage to happen. My doctor was like, even if, it's not even my doctor, it's just the doctor I saw that day. But he was like, in the non-infertility world where you're not like super in tune with your body, you might just be starting to think that you missed your period. And you might just be like, oh, I might be pregnant. So, you know, it's really early in the pregnancy. It's just because we're so in tune with everything that we even know all of this is happening. Which sucks. It's like insult to injury. Anyway, so that's our story. That's where we are. I probably won't post this until we know more, but I'm just going to keep taking videos to get myself through this. It's like talking to a friend, even though it's just a freaking camera. And I'm literally like talking to myself. Or to my dog who's looking at me. And my cat who's next to me. Alright, well, I guess that's it. I don't know really what else to say besides this sucks. And I feel like life might be a little unfair right now. Okay, thanks. I guess I'll update you when I have something to update you with or I need to talk.